sir, it's time to lock in. Welcome back to the Creepy TikTok series, gang. Y'all ain't ready for this one. Let's get into it. Lock in.
This fish, it's called the doomsday fish. They call it a doomsday fish because when it comes to the surface, typically that means there's going to be an earthquake or tsunami in the not so distant future. And this doomsday fish appeared off the coast of Japan 5 months ago. And then Japan was just rocked by these giant earthquakes.
And the last time they'd been out, it was
Indonesia.
Is that like folktale or like scientifically like?
Their guess is that they can like sense a seismic shift at the bottom of the ocean, so that's why they swim up.
It's really weird.
Now I'm gonna be having nightmares about this fish, hoping I never see it in my dreams, thinking it's gonna be a death omen.
Is a dimension.
Yeah. Well, dimension is a realm that exists at a different frequency. Right now, we're in the third dimension. We only can control the first and the second. The first dimension is a line. The second dimension is connected lines. And because we're in the third dimension, we're like the God over the second and the first. We can control and manipulate those dimensions from the outside. If people were living in those dimensions, like one-dimensional people or two-dimensional people, they would be at complete awe of what our capabilities were, because they first of all, they wouldn't be able to see us as a third-dimensional being. All they would see is the manipulation of their environment, and they would wonder what's going on. The fourth dimension is a tesseract, a fourth-dimensional hypercube. From the fourth dimension and all the way up, things change completely. The entity in the fourth dimension can see into everything. They can see through this ceiling and watch us sitting here right now. Right? They can see the past, present, and future all at the same time. It's like having a house and living different parts of your life at the same time in different years in the same house.
Pretty good explanation of dimensions, honestly. If you ever wanted how to understand that conceptually, that video probably helped you out a lot.
Okay, watch this, y'all.
Some people believe we live in a multiverse which consists of several dimensions, including a spiritual one. And a lot of people also believe that the spiritual dimension is getting thinner for some mysterious reason, which would explain why there's so much paranormal activity going on.
Okay, watch this,
Check
y'all.
this out.
This man, he called his boss asking him, why didn't y'all tell me they had a new employee, right? He constantly looking back, right? He's talking to somebody, right?
Check this out.
Just watch, this is creepy. Look, having a whole conversation with somebody, right? Saying that somebody came and he dapping that person off and everything. Now
Pay attention.
Look, y'all see when he dapped him off? Look what happened.
What the heck was that?
He dapped him off. You
Look.
see that shadow? And then the shadow goes over here and he pulling the chair out for him.
Did you see that?
He swore to God he sat there and had a whole conversation with this person. He moved over talking to him and everything. Y'all better protect yourselves. Whatever that was took advantage of him.
It's really hard for me to say, because every time she pointed at the shadow, that was just a shadow of the person who's sitting there. But I don't know. Let me know what y'all think if y'all saw the shadow in that video.
So the story goes, the Ark of the Covenant, it's lost. Some people say it's in Ethiopia, but there's another story. Supposedly, Muhammad...
Ali?
No.
Okay.
He went, found the Ark of the Covenant, brought it back to Mecca, and buried it.
Wait, that's ours.
But this is where it gets weird. They were building a new mosque in Mecca in 2015, and they supposedly dug it up without knowing it was there. And as soon as they reached it, there was a giant sandstorm that came blowing in. This crane fell, killed 100 people.
Oh my gosh.
And then all the people around it said that it looked like a plasma explosion shot into the sky.
Oh my gosh.
And then shortly after that, Kirill, the head of the Russian Orthodox Church, met with the Pope and supposedly grabbed the Ark of the Covenant, and straight from the port in Saudi Arabia, the Russian Navy ship went straight to Antarctica. But the theory is that the Pope knew where the Ark of the Covenant was, teamed up with the Russian Orthodox Church, took the Ark of the Covenant from Mecca, and placed it in Antarctica.
What?
That's weird.
Weird stuff!
Man, now it got me thinking about all the little creepy stories I heard about all the artifacts that the Vatican have at the basement of their the church or something. They need to uncover that one day. I bet you we got all types of artifacts in there.
Mysterious creatures filmed in different states. In Ohio. In Utah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting that. No, when he started falling down that hill, that was crazy. Why was he falling down the hill like that, bro? That looked outrageous, bro.
I have showed you some scary stuff I found on the internet, but Not Your Normal Kids Show is something else. The first episode, which was posted to BB Key's TikTok account earlier this year, might seem harmless at first. But oh my god, it gets so weird. Watch just this clip alone.
Thank you, tall man.
You did it. Closed the curtains completely. Why don't you open the door? Open the door.
Oops, wrong number.
Later on in the video, our main character gets hungry and has a bowl of grapes. Now this is what I mean when I say I'm having girl dinner. There's also a really interesting through line from these videos to the poster's other content. Like how when the tall man goes missing from Not Your Normal Kids Show, he shows up in the poster's actual home. What is this show?
Yeah, that definitely had me tweaking, thinking I had left my own curtains open. I had to go check for a minute there, but I don't know what to say about that one. That was wild.
Scary recordings found on dark web.
By the garden of the willow tree and with me.
Okay, seemed like something came and grabbed her at the end there. I don't know what that was, but that was definitely spooky.
If you see this while getting on your car, be very careful. Here's why. A woman named Delaney posted a warning video to anyone who lives in Salem, Oregon, showing why you should be on the lookout for any suspicious vehicles parked near your house. In the video, as her friend is leaving for work, you can see someone pulling up to her driveway. She immediately notices something doesn't seem right and quickly gets back inside. The man then waits patiently for her to come back out, but as he gets tired of waiting, this happens. With his phone's flashlight, the man looks inside, but doesn't seem too interested, so he gets back into his vehicle and continues to wait for her. The garage door opens, and as she comes out, he makes his way to her, but as her father comes to confront him, he drives off.
All I gotta say is be aware of your surroundings, guys. It could save your life, for sure.
Rainy, hey. Come here, Rainy. Quit. Okay. Hey.
Dude, that would terrify me. I would do my best to not run because you don't want to make them have the predator sense kick in, but that is scary. Just, you hear all those, I mean, coyotes are not wolves, right? But still, you don't want to be surrounded by any four-legged creature, man. That's...
I want to talk about one of the strangest cults I've ever seen, because it is unreal what they are asking their followers to do. Also, I cover a lot of darkly curious stuff on this page, so you should follow along. So recently, Netflix and Amazon came out with documentaries about the Twin Flames cult. A cult that operates on Zoom and is run by these two theater kids, Jeff and Shalia. They teach that everyone has a twin flame love, someone who is made in heaven that we have to find on earth. But they also teach you that you have to pursue this love at all costs, even when the person is begging you to stop. So for instance, this woman developed a crush on a much younger guy at work, and he very politely asked her to stop pursuing him. But she kept on doing really uncomfortable things, and that's because she was getting advice from Jeff.
You don't fucking back down.
One woman even went to jail after she continually violated a restraining order her ex-boyfriend filed against her. Obviously, that method was not helping their followers find true love. So Jeff and Shalia changed tactics, and this is where it gets bonkers. They tell their followers that their twin flames are actually other followers in the cult, but they have almost exclusively female followers. And a lot of their followers who didn't identify as queer were being paired with other women. And Jeff and Shalia tell them that it's because they were assigned the wrong gender and in reality are men.
I was told you are a man.
So technically they are still straight. And they basically tell their followers that if you don't transition genders, you will never find true love. The documentaries get into it a lot more. Obviously, it's very complicated, but you kind of just have to see it to believe it.
Wow. that sounds so unbelievable that I don't even know if it's real or if it's made up, because that's like, how do you blindly follow someone like that? But I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, because that sounds insane. Spanger. You know, I started to think it was like a Groundhog Day type thing, and I was like, okay, maybe he'll view it at the end from the outside of the door perspective, but that never happened. Just a jump scare. Good old Spanger.
So McDonald's sued this teenager for just running a charity event named after herself. Basically, in 2010, a Boston University student named Lauren McCluskey was trying to register a trademark for her small charity event, McFest. It was an annual student volunteer band concert that aimed to raise money for the Special Olympics. Over the years, Lauren and her friends had managed to raise over $30,000 for disabled athletes. But although Lauren had simply named the event after her own last name, McCluskey, she was shocked to soon receive a letter from McDonald's legal team demanding that she use a different name. Apparently, McFest violated McDonald's trademark since they already had ownership over a lot of words that started with the MC prefix, including this one. McDonald's also said that they didn't want people mistaking Lauren's event as actually being theirs. However, although McDonald's offered to cover the costs of selecting a new name for Lauren's event, she refused to budge. She said that she wanted the consistency of keeping her event's name. So she decided to spend $5,000 on a legal team to fight McDonald's in court. But when Lauren realized that it would cost a lot more than that to win, she simply settled out of court. In exchange for changing her McFest name to Nella Ruski, McDonald's agreed to make a substantial financial contribution to her event. It was the right choice, and Lauren's Nella Ruski charity events are still taking place to this day.
Well, good on McDonald's for at least putting up some money towards the event, since it's for disabled people. But that's definitely they only did that because they didn't want the bad press. Let's be real. So, yeah.
The Anunnaki. That's the name of the beings that, according to the ancient text, came from heaven to earth. In the Egyptian culture, they call them the Naturu, and they said they came to earth and turned mud into a kingdom. In the Bible, they call them the Anak. They have these names in all different cultures. They all show up around the same time in every culture. And I started finding more instances of them in every culture I looked into around the same time period. And I go, these people really came here at some point in the distant past. It seems to be now around 450,000 years ago they arrived. And about 200,000 years ago, according to the text, not me, they started genetically tinkering with human beings, saying they were adding their essence to them to get us to do the labor for them. So around 200,000 years ago, they started tinkering with us. And there's a famous cylinder scroll and with some text at the British Museum with Isis, the goddess Isis, who was one of the original Sumerian pantheon, not Egyptian, Sumerian. She's holding up a baby and she says, the first Adamu, which means first man, my hands have created it. And she claims to have taken this baby to term for 10 months to create the more modern version of Homo sapiens sapiens.
I'm always here for the Anunnaki stories, for sure. You're always hearing something about the Nephilim and stuff like that from back then. So I'm always in tune with them stories. Let me know what y'all think, though.
Ever heard about the Monster Inc. and Incredibles theory?
Nah.
Okay, so you know Boo?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know how like throughout all Monsters Inc., Boo was like appearing and disappearing, and Sully and Mike could never keep track on her.
Yeah.
Because she would always go. They
in the first Monsters Inc.
In the first
movie,
Monsters Inc., yeah, she would like go through the doors and she would get lost a lot.
Yeah.
So what people are saying is that Boo is actually Violet.
Violet from Incredibles?
From Incredibles.
Nah,
she
what?
would make herself invisible and stuff. And this also explains why she's so like scared and like, you know how like in the first movie her eyes are all like swollen or she looks tired all the time?
Oh yeah.
It's because she's traumatized from seeing Mike and Sully all the time.
Yo.
It's a nightmare.
That's crazy.
She probably tried telling their parents, and this is what I think. She's probably tried telling their parents, right?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I saw monsters. Oh, you're just acting up.
Yeah.
Nobody would believe her. That's why she's so anxious all the time.
And that's why she's kind of like that emo.
That's not bro theory, and I don't know what is. That was a fun theory, though. That was very fun.
Every night we go to sleep, some of us don't remember dreams very often, but some dream vividly every night. And just think of how insane that experience is. I mean, you've forgotten where you were, right? That's the strangest part. And this is psychosis, right? You have lost your mind. You have lost your connection to your episodic memory, or even your expectations that reality won't undergo wholesale changes a moment after you have closed your eyes, right? Like you're in bed, you're watching something on Netflix, you're waiting to fall asleep, and then the next thing that happens to you is impossible, and you're not surprised.
I wouldn't go as far as to say psychosis, but I get what he's saying. When you're in the dream state, I think about that often, because when you're in a dream, it feels real, right? You're like, oh, this is real, but then you wake up and it's literally not. It was just a dream. So like sometimes you be like, sometimes people feel like that about this reality, right? Let me know what y'all think.
A video of a bowl of chocolate-covered strawberries is somehow on its way right now to becoming the most liked video in history. It has been up for less than a month and it's already got over 34 million likes. The current record is 63.9 million on Better Porch's Enter the Bee video. And since we just took the record from her for the most liked comment, the internet is now all getting behind the strawberries, with people even like Zach King getting involved. I'll keep you updated on its progress so you make it back to strawberry talk.
Well, that is your TikTok news for the day. I wasn't familiar with that, but now I am. So hopefully the strawberry chocolate wins.
So the moral of the story is our heart radiates out. Like, this is why our culture constantly, naturally, intuitively refers to having good vibes and bad vibes. We already can feel this sixth sense. Like, literally, electromagnetically, all our hearts are talking to one another. We are immersed in a 360 spherical bubble in each other's heart bubbles all the time. So it matters whether you're in a negative or a positive state of being, because this literally creates your interaction with reality, with people, with events. This is work done by HeartMath. They are a non-profit that has been doing this since 1991, for 30 years. It is time we start really giving energy to this, giving understanding to this, and like implementing this into our world. We need it now more than ever.
For sure, what he said. And that's why I do my best to stay in a positive state of being. And through that positive state of being, you kind of attract more people who are in that state of being as well. So shout out to all my viewers. I know y'all staying positive out there, so I love y'all.
This is the seal of King Tut's tomb before it was opened in 1923. The unbroken seal had remained untouched for over 3,200 years. There are over 5,800 items found in King Tut's tomb. Here are three of the notables. Number one is personal chariot. The vehicle was disassembled after his death and placed in his tomb. A small group has theorized that the boy king was killed after a fall from the vehicle, but most likely he died of disease or physical injury. Number two, the statue of Anubis. Anubis was the jackal which ushered the souls of the Egyptian dead into the underworld. The canine was meant to be an effective guard for the grave. Number three, and the debate is raged for decades over the iron dagger that was found in his tomb. There were two daggers found, one gold and one iron. Studies have persisted for decades that the iron was made from material from outer space or meteoric iron. Now, in Tut's day, iron was a very rare commodity and was considered even more valuable than gold. There's writings from the Egyptians of Tut's era reverently calling it iron from the sky.
Yo, shout out to the chariot. Did you see the gold on that thing, man? Dude, I love gold. Gold is a beautiful color, man. So that's what immediately popped out to me. But damn, let me know what y'all think about them artifacts in the comments.
Imagine it's 1 a.m. and you're chilling in a hot pot restaurant. Out of nowhere, a wild bison, like a tank on the loose, charges through the door. The unsuspecting owner gets thrown across the room by this 1,100-pound beast. Another guy, reacting with lightning speed, narrowly escapes and drags the owner to safety. Meanwhile, this crazy bison isn't done yet. It roams around the restaurant, seemingly looking for more people, then casually strolls out. At the doorway, it pauses as if checking for customers. Then, it strides into another room. Thankfully, the place is empty. But the damage it could have done? Unthinkable. Surveillance footage shows this bison crashing and thrashing around in frustration, probably annoyed by the darkness and the absence of people. Imagine if the restaurant were full. Those sharp horns could have caused a real horror show. How did this beast even end up here?
Apparently that was a water buffalo, not a bison, but whatever it is, homie got tossed into the air like he was nothing, bro. Hope he's okay, man. Let me know what y'all think. Thank y'all for rocking with me tonight. That's all the videos I have for y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video, show your boy some love. Drop a comment, drop a like, drop a sub, and I'ma see y'all in the next one. Deuces.